You're watching the Explosive Exclusive with me and Navika Kumar, and today we have a story that the police in Mumbai refuses to tell you, viewers, and the lobby of suicide theorists will never acknowledge. Isn't it, Navika?
Absolutely. Yesterday we showed in his own handwriting, Sushant Singh writing to his own sister, calling her the light of his mother. And you know, he's written a post about his mother and he held his mother in great esteem. Today, we are going to show excerpts of Sushant's diary. What?
Sushant's personal diary.
Personal diary.
Accessed.
What a meticulous man. This was a man who had planned for everything, and this is his plan for 2020. It was not his plan to go away, leave this world, to be so dejected, to commit suicide in 2020. He was planning big things, Rahul.
Absolutely. His target was set on owning assets worth 50 crores, a Hollywood debut, and he had set teams who were going to carry out various functions. This man was so meticulous, and you know, people have told you about this in interviews, Navika, that he was absolutely meticulous. And you know, I don't know, but individuals who live a haphazard life, it's pretty obvious. But this individual, the sophistication with which he went about constructing these business plans, several pages of his diary accessed by Times Now. All of this, viewers, points, Navika, and let's, I think you should go up there.
I really want to show this on the big screen to our viewers, because, it's something that's written in his own hand, and after the man is not with us. I want you to see. These are pages of his diary. This is the page number 1. The first page, can I just have the first page? And I want to show you this. He's talking about making a production house. This will be a content generator, create, and it will be creative. And he says in 2020, I'll go to Hollywood. Hollywood plan in 2020 right here. Bollywood also, he has plans of making this production house, which will be very creative. He talks about top writers will be employed. There will be experienced and very radical thinking in-house people who will work on content, on scripts. One writer will have options, and options will be our creating and screening possibilities. And he also talks about the theme of
reporters.
An entire team of writers. He would do this, as a setup, as a professional setup. And he's talking about setting up a production house as a professional. He doesn't have any preconceived notions. He's not talking about any rishtedars that he's going to have. He also says there will be a startup with emergent technology. This is what he says. 3 big points. 2020 destination Bollywood, creative content, destination Hollywood, creative content, startup in emergent technology, and SSR's unshared dreams, all written down in his own writing in this paper. And he used to discuss this with his friends, brainstorming, and this is the way he would write down everything that was written. And this again, second page, entertainment, production house. And while he's talking about all of this, he actually pens down everything, and he talks about top writers and production house creation, idea development, everything being done in a very professional setup. And technology was a big part of it. He says team, one writer, our screening, team of writers, all of this coming up in the way he planned this out. Then he also goes on to the next page, and he looks at this. He says next, it is the next implicate steps. What will he do with these steps? He says immediate steps that he needs to take: decide name, stake, capital, IP protection, legal team. He's thought it all out. That the immediate steps he has to decide is an IP protection as well, and he's talking about stake sales, and he's talking about capital that needs to be generation. He wants to make a name and a legal team, identify best foreign films and writers. He wanted not just Indian writers, wanted to have a global look because he was thinking of a Hollywood debut. He was planning it all, and technology, Rahul, was a big part of all of this, and
but
a startup.
They were labeling him a quitter. All through, they said, oh, you know, this gentleman, he is not, he had clear ideas about exiting life, and over the last 1.5 years, he was depressed, inward drawn, he had given up on life, etc., etc. But here is a creative man and a creative mind, Navika.
Absolutely, creative man, creative mind. Now let's look at page 3. And page 3, he says, company formation. It will be the step 1 will be company formation, and that will be a creative company that he wants to set up. Step 2 will be explore FTII. So local talent, trained talent from FTII. He had great respect for them. Step 3, idea for first screening, execute, meet and lock. So he was making plans. He wanted to meet these people and he wanted it all done.
So he wanted a team of writers to come together to execute a concept which would then be produced into some sort of a maybe feature film or any other production. And therefore, viewers, you are seeing, what does he do? Idea for a first screening. So how it would be screened, marketed, presented to the public, that would be executed, meet and lock the people that he needed to bring into place to do all of this.
Absolutely. So while he's talking about company formation, exploring FTII, first screening, execution, meeting and locking, he's also setting up this step 5, which is content generation. And he was talking about content generation with the best minds in India and abroad to come up with this very radical, setup. And he was writing this diary in 2018, 2019, and projecting what he wanted to do in 2020. And these were his plans for 2020. It was not his plan to get depressed. It was not his plan. And all of this did not happen, just suddenly. Look at page 4.
But it was certainly not his plan to give up on life. And he wanted a grand life for himself. Something has gone wrong, viewers. Something, obviously, that changed it all.
Absolutely. And this man, technical training, he had friends from Delhi College of Engineering who were with him. They wanted to set up this name, the stakeholders, who will be the stakeholders, capital, IP protection, IP protection. He was thinking of those kind of details and all in his own handwriting. And he's talking about exclusivity. He's talking about permanent members which will come up.
And Navika, if you really look on top, right at top of this note, there are also names that he is homing in on who he could depend on to perhaps lead all of this.
Priyanka, his sister.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we showed you at 9 p.m. yesterday the letter he wrote to Priyanka. She's a lawyer. He wanted her to be the head of all of this, the legal mind. He also talks about Megha Mehta. These are the two people that he's talking about who would be here. 3 weeks' time, he wanted to set all of this up. He wanted that this would take 3 weeks and, everything about IP protection, etc. would be done. And all step 3 permanent members also talks about how we need to execute and personal meetings have to be set up. Everything. Biggest writers around the world. This is all written here on page 4 of Sushant Singh Rajput's diary, and these notes are in his own writing, and he wants creative heads from across the world, and he wants this team to really be together
he wanted to pick out the best FTII talent.
And this was his project 2020.
Absolutely, and work with all these individuals.